talk about, I'm with a bunch of friends and we're going to talk about good things. And I have started the recording with that comment. All right. Hi, this is Paul Slatkus and this is Good News Planet. And I'm here with some very wonderful friends. We've made some shows together. We've been involved with peace events together. And it's a special day for me. And I'm so happy that we've gotten on. We have Cindy, Marinangel, a good friend for a long time, and a friend of hers who I'm meeting just now, David Curtis, I believe, and then we have Sergeant Ed Schloeman and Ed, Colonel Major, is it?
Chief Master Sergeant.
Chief Master Sergeant. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Colonel Major either, and I don't even know if that's a title because I see CM, but I will say straight out right here, right now, that I know Ed for some time, and I'm crazy about you. And I'm crazy about you because you are about the good in the world. Ed was one of the few people, I'll say, that came down in Brooklyn during our Peace Day activities and said a few words at the Brooklyn War Memorial, which is an unbelievable memorial right by the Brooklyn Bridge on the Brooklyn side. That memorial, maybe 150, 200 feet long, an ideal place for a peace event. Tough place to get people to come down, even with Borough President Adams coming down. But it's a big statement for those that have fought for fairness and justice and to help others in other parts of the world. And then my friend Errol Rapaport, he's another do-gooder, helping this one, helping that one. And he seems to know half of the world. So we're going to have some fun here. So I don't know, why don't you give us each one of you, maybe Cindy, you start, give us an update of, what's going on in your life right now and tell us some good news.
Okay, well, the good news for me, I've been doing a lot of cat and kitten rescuing and fostering and getting them homes and saving lives. So that and working on some creative projects. I hula hooped and shot myself for a video called Social Distancing, and that has been played on the annual virtual Doodah Parade, which was very exciting amongst other locations. And then also I shot in my little German Dirndl a whole Oktoberfest hosting section for the Rotary Club for ending World Polio Day. So wow. I've been doing some charity work. Also, of course, in May, all these gentlemen were involved in doing a fundraiser with the show Dietrich that we produced together. And we raised money for 5 different charities, got a mention in Classic Images magazine and some press before, and brought awareness to 5 different charities. So I've been doing what I can virtually to keep active.
All right, good news. And David, I heard a little bit from my great-great-grandfather, Errol, about you, and that he said—
No, he doesn't look nearly that old.
You got him on a good day today. And so he said that, well, first, I guess you were with the fire department, was that right?
I spent 32 years with the fire department.
Only.
Worked my way up the ranks and, retired fairly well. I keep in touch with him and I still have some—
He's the ex-fire chief. Come on, don't be—
Some input. Just congratulated somebody who just got promoted today. And, that's something, it's a family. So it's an ongoing thing, much like Ed, the military, you go into battle together. So you kind of, it's a different kind of a bond. So even though I'm retired, I'm still a big part of it.
Yeah. Which town were you in?
I actually started right here in Weehawken, and in 1999, we were the first regional fire department, 5 towns regionalized. So we're the North Hudson Regional Fire and Rescue.
Great. Super duper. Well, and thank you so much for that. I have the total and utter respect in that regard. And why don't we go to another gentleman who's, what is it? CM. CM standing for one more time for me. Ed? I know Sergeant. Chief?
That's E9 in the Air Force.
Okay. Now, you have, when I've seen you, you seem to have a lot of badges. Why do you have so many? I had them for Boy Scouts. That's about as far, and I got a high lottery number. Those are my two scenarios.
Hey,
Um,
Paul, can I say something? Why don't you let Ed tell you what it means to be a chief master sergeant? How many people actually do that in the world?
Well, I actually was going to do that, Errol. I was
Well,
just talking about his thing.
I spent 6 years with the Marines and got out after Vietnam. And then I joined the Air National Guard in 1976 and retired from there in 95. So I had about 28 years with the military, and we all had our issues after the war, and I just lived with mine, and like every good Marine, I wanted to go to Iwo Jima, so I went to Iwo Jima in 2010, and I ended up meeting a beautiful guy who was a P-51 fighter pilot, and he got me involved with meditation. And when I came back, I said, well, let me try this, even though I don't believe in this bullshit, but I'll try it. And I met Bobby Roth from the David Lynch Foundation, and I learned from him. And it is soothing. And so I said, well, let's bring this to the world. So I partnered up with David Lynch, the movie director, and we started Operation Warrior Wellness. And matter of fact, last night, I don't know if you all saw the David Lynch Meditate America. They had Sting, Katy Perry, Hugh Jackman, all the celebrities who practice meditation, they were on. And so in all the thank yous that they gave, I was the first one. They said, before we continue, I want to thank Ed Schloeman for the work that he's done bringing meditation to the veteran community. So along the way, looking at the firemen and stuff like that, Sal Casano, the fire commissioner of New York, is a very, very good friend of mine. He learned meditation. He was also an Army combat person and never spoke about his horrors. And of course, after 9/11, he had to rebuild the fire department. And when he learned meditation, he said, this is one of the ways we're going to do it. So he partnered up with me, and I was very honored to have been adopted by the Friends of Firefighters and trained quite a few of them in meditation, and two of these individuals were buried in the rubble. So they loved what they did. And this is why what I want to do with creating a safe landing zone, I want to target Staten Island, because Staten Island, I would say, if you had to do a percentage wise of how many first responders are there, I'd say they got to be 25% of Staten Island got to be first responders, whether they be majority of them firemen. I know 60 of them already in Staten Island who all retired after 9/11. And many of them are not here today. Yeah, I know that with David, and I'm going to be grabbing him real soon to get this thing rolling in Staten Island, and making I have an expression: if you don't toot your own horn, they'll never know you're coming. And today we have to compete for the dollars. We got to compete for the charities. There's so many charities everybody wants to give to, and I'm proud to say that the mission of Operation WarriorShield is to be the ombudsman, or the agent of cure for all of these veterans. I'm very well established within every veteran organization in New York City and beyond. And now that Leonard has brought me people like David, we're going to up this a little bit more and start getting into, you said you don't want to speak about politics, but politics is going to cure this goddamn epidemic. And we have to get the cities involved in this, because we just can't keep keep on closing and closing the city. Look how many suicides, look how many children are being deprived. With the UV angel, we should not be closing these schools. We should be putting this product into every school because they're spending more money on bullshit things than what they could do with this. And it's a matter of learning, which is what I want to do, Paul, with the help of David and, of course, our goodwill ambassador, who could be any better than Errol with what he does. So I want to get that partnership rolling here with Cindy, David, you where you got to do. We go ahead and do these kind of events to bring awareness. And I have also know that Brooklyn Wall, I've been there a couple times speaking on behalf of world peace too. So
I know.
that's the story.
All right. Well, once again, I'm crazy about you. I remember coming out to Brooklyn and broadcasting one of your events out there, and David Lynch is in every single one of my Peace Day events for the last 10 years, a piece of video where he goes into schools and the whole organization calms everybody down in schools where they're shooting each other. And so I'd say probably, I don't know, 15, as long as I know Roth and David myself. So I'm a big fan for everything that they do, and you do as well. So it's all good. And I will let you know that I do know a little bit about ultraviolet light. In fact, I got an ultraviolet light sauna here in my room. And so, and I happen to know, and you can go to our Good News Planet website, about ultraviolet light actually under our area of coronavirus, and about how it's curing.
Good.
And actually initially from commentary from cadavers in China, because I'm very plugged into Asia. So heat, what you're talking about in ultraviolet is a healer. So I'd be happy to continue with our conversation. Errol, the man who could put us all together in some good way and then let the world know about us. How are you?
I'm terrific. And first of all, Paul, when I originally met you, it was an event at for the National Meningitis Association. And I just played that the other day, and you were wonderful because I've seen you do all these great things you do for everybody else. And time people did some good things for you. And I'll say that. The other thing is that, oh shoot, what Ed is doing is just brilliant. I mean, I was in the service many years, it's over 50 years ago, I think. And I took care of guys coming back from Vietnam at Scott Air Force Base. And the association of what Cindy's doing, because Cindy is playing Marlene Dietrich, who her character entertained the troops 50 years ago. So I was taking care of the guys now that are at this age that we're entertaining now through the show that she did and promoted, guys that were saw Marlene Dietrich when she first started, helping raising money for the troops. And everything is coming around full circle here. And all the things we're doing here with what Ed is talking about is only about doing good things for people, no matter you're Democrat, Republican, whatever, to open up the city, to have ultraviolet, to make it safe. And the ultraviolet lighting system, which I just sent you information on, is one of the things that is great. There are many other things. There's disinfectants. There's all kinds of new technology to make it safe. So we go into a restaurant or a hotel or wherever we go, and they have a sign up there like a good housekeeping sign. And we can get that approved by the city or something. So you walk in and you say, okay, now they have a system here that is cleaning the air. It's safe to walk in here. We don't know where we're going in these department stores. We don't know whether, because there's so many systems of ultraviolet lighting that you talk about that they now putting ultraviolet bulbs in the air conditioning system. Well, those ultraviolet lights are sending out pure air, but then when we're in a room together, the air gets contaminated. So the ultraviolet fan system goes up in a fan, goes around and goes through the lighting, comes down to pure air. So we're now in a situation where we're dealing with pure air. Okay. And these are the kind of things we have to, do to make it safe. And this stuff is, good for mold. It's good for everything. And I just love doing good things like your magazine, your show is good news. I'm all about good news. on how many years I have left is all about good news. And David, I mean, I don't know anybody really understands what it is to a fireman to have to go into a blazing fire and risk their life with all the equipment, everything else, to help people they don't even know. They have no idea who they're helping, and they just go in and do it. I mean, I'd say, David, that's unbelievable that you do that kind of thing, that you did that. I mean, I really respect you for what you've done, and now it's a chance to help other people. As we get older, we got a lot more wisdom that we can help other people, do the things that they should be doing in the first place. So that's who I'm about.
All right. Okay. A lot of good things. I lost my family's business to a fire up in Tarrytown. So
No.
my father cried for years after. And
No.
so these are the difficult things in life, that upheaval. I think
What I
that,
liked hearing about transcendental meditation and Mr. Schloeman's program is that it's supposed to be the most effective suicide prevention method. I was a psych major. I used to work in the field, and talk therapy isn't doing it, drugs aren't doing it, but teaching people to meditate, and also from my understanding of the program, teaching people, for example, firefighters that are training before they go into, or people going to war before they go in, so that they have tools not only to help as things are happening, but also being able to help these veterans and people that are coming out, first responders that have trauma and are having trouble dealing with it. So I think that that's exciting to share with as many people as possible.
Well,
I agree with you.
this week we just finished our very first class
thank you, Cindy.
of NYPD with their health and wellness section. We have 10 police who are now going through the program that is supported with internally, which is a big game changer, because as you know it and David knows it, they don't want to come forward to say that they have an issue, because the first thing that's going to happen, they take their gun away. I know so many Marines who came back from Afghanistan, and one guy was asked, his name was James, he says, well, why you keep on volunteering going back to Afghanistan? He said, I like killing terrorists. Well, they took his gun away.
Mm.
And so this is the very first time that they're bringing transcendental meditation into the police department, and only because we were able to speak to the over 400 veterans of NYPD. I did a podcast. We had 191 show up on the podcast, and out of that, we've gotten 10 that volunteered to come through. So to me, that's a game changer, and that's some of the things we're going to do with David. We spoke a little bit about it, that we want to bring that kind of concept, we warriors, to understand the shoes and the steps that they take. And that's why I created that mantra, or the verbiage, creating a safe landing zone, because I want places where the wives or the partners of these first responders can also learn. I don't want this just to go with the first responders, because they need a partner that gets them through the tough nights. And that's what I got me through a lot of tough nights, was a great woman. And it's the way we were raised too, because, we were 12 years old roaming the streets of Coney Island. We used to leave at 8 o'clock in the morning and come home at 10 o'clock at night. And I'm 12 years old. My parents never knew where we were. We played stickball every day. We played ring alivio, catch, kick the can, and all those kind of games that you grew up with a gang. And at 17, you joined the Marine Corps. And that was it. You either went to college or you joined the military. And that was our world. And, that's the kind of stuff we have to bring back. But like I said, I want to bring it back where a first responder learns meditation with his partner, because that's one of the things that's going to get him over the hump, is that to belong to an organization, belong to the Vietnam veterans, Iraq, Afghanistan. So as Leonard and I were speaking about, what we're going to talk about tonight, how do we get this thing going?
Errol, my
You
name's
know,
Errol.
there's two, Errol, Leonard, excuse me, Leonard. Oh, God. That's because he calls me every goddamn hour, Leonard. We're friends in California, afraid we're going to take the UV angel away from him. But
I know.
but what I'd like to do, and speaking about what we're going to do tonight, I have the IAVA, the Iraq Afghanistan Veterans of America, who loves our work. I got the Department of Veteran Services, who loves our work. I got the American Legion. This is only in New York. We're not even touching David. So if we can't, we should be able to put a pretty big thing together with Cindy and blow it out of the water and use that as the opening of creating that safe landing zone. So, getting into what we wanted to talk about.
And
Beautiful.
giving these guys, it sounds like the biggest problem is they're afraid of the stigma of coming forward.
Yeah,
Not
sure.
only of repercussion, but also being seen as weak or can't handle it. And so I think you have ways of making it so that stigma is lessened or not
Well,
put on them,
I
or-
think what you're talking about, and I will say right up front, what I really like is it's not just for the veteran first responder that's going through the trouble, it's for their partner. So you're not only going to
Oh,
save
absolutely.
relationships. I think that's
Yeah,
fantastic.
absolutely. I mean,
There's a lot of people that are, one of my fires, we had a bad backdraft and one of my guys got caught and got killed. I had to make it mandatory for everybody on that scene that night because he was a long-term fireman. He was a senior fireman, one of the best. He got caught and got killed.
yeah.
I had to
Well,
make it mandatory that they go through.
Well, look at the divorce rate. The divorce. Well, listen. I always told the story. My kids hate it. I always wanted to be a cop, so I had one. I always wanted to be a pilot, so I had another one. But then I wanted to be smart. I had a daughter. So
That's good.
and my kids. Look at them, F-15 fighter pilot. I mean, look at the stress there. My
Wow.
son, the cop, he just retired, worked undercover most of his life. Tough kids. And now they got, thank God they have a good, a good woman behind them.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
There you go.
that's what I want to do. I want to now promote the second level, the second tier of the support, the triad of support. And that is the woman or the partner behind the person. And I got a letter here from the president of the EMS union. They want to be involved. There's 3 of them who committed suicide in the last 6 months.
Mm.
3 EMS guys from New York. So this guy is the union president. He wants to get involved with what we're doing too. So I do believe we have the makings, Paul, with your guidance and Leonard, that we could put on a pretty big thing. Errol,
Okay.
Errol.
Well,
Errol, why
Change your
now
name.
I'm gonna, why I got Leonard on my mind.
you're thinking of Leonard's in Long Island. All right, so
No.
I'm sorry.
you know,
It's
I
late.
only
I
got a
told
few
you it's
minutes
late.
in this, and I had the 40 minutes going to go, and then we'd have to start again. Let me just at this moment, let's make this part 1, okay? And I do have a lot of things. I got a buddy from Brooklyn, Ron Bashi. He made a movie on first responders. It's a beautiful outreach. Something that you need to see. I got Claire Diab. She made a thing for firefighters, a yoga tape in Jersey. I mean, I do got a lot of things. Maybe I can, help out here the best I can. Quickly, what is peace for each one of you? Cindy, what's peace for you?
Oh, come to me last.
Cindy, last. Leonard, Errol,
What's the question?
what is peace for you? Peace.
Oh, peace for me is peace. Just being happy, healthy, wonderful. Peace. I mean, waking up each day. I heard a quote the other day that was great, where the guy said, he says, I don't want to lead anybody. I don't want to walk in front and lead anybody. He says, I don't want to walk in back and follow anybody. I just want somebody to walk with me as a friend and enjoy life and health.
David?
I guess the easy answer would be that everybody get along, cooperate, work together, regardless of your religious background, your ethnic background, your political background, regardless. We're all human beings here for the same reason, to help us and to help the people around us and anybody.
Ed?
Well, like I pray every morning and every night to God, and I say, take care of my family. Give me, let's fulfill my contract with you. I want to live to be 100 and remember all of them. And I got 22 more years to keep on doing what we're doing. So I really want the angel of death to stay away from me. And unfortunately, it just happens every day. You hear someone other person. My wife today had 2 calls that somebody died. 2 calls today. It's just terrible. So I just hope that angel of death does not come near my family for another 22 years. And that's my peace.
Cindy?
Gratitude. I think daily gratitude is helpful for inner peace. I find peace and joy in sunshine and water. Just, trying to just appreciate, By the way, I appreciate very much your piano playing, Paul, on Thanksgiving. That's another beautiful additive. We could have you play a beautiful concert. You have great playing. And how about for you? What's your definition of peace, Paul?
My piece right now is just having you all on here. To be frank, straight out, because I love all of you. You're all do-gooders, and I've known you all for a good amount of time, and consistently do-gooders. And that's a great feeling. And Cindy, if you're hanging out with this guy, he must be fantastic. So it's all good stuff. So I want to thank you all, and I'll broadcast it. I'll send you the link, and this will just help more people, and as we continue to do.
Well, before you go, what is our intention of having the call tonight? We want to do something in the near term of you putting something together, Paul?
I'd like, I don't want to lose the recording. Do you want to, how about if I save it and stay on, and we can talk about that? Or,
Good idea.
You want to do that? I mean, yeah.
Talk about the website so people can go to Operation Warrior Shield, right? Ed, could you tell the website? Or
Ed, what's the website?
Well, our website is Operation Warrior Shield, and you could see all the things we do. And like I said, to summarize, I want to get the word out of what we're doing with building a new team. I really think Cindy and David and Errol, that I want to re-energize my board. They're getting stale, and I don't want people just now we can't have these galas. The only thing they did was, buy a table for $5,000. I don't need that. I need people to be active, not every day, but to do things that gets the awareness of our program out there. I need grant money, which I'm working on. And now, believe it or not, you didn't want to talk politics.
But I better save this. I don't know what happens if we run over that.
Oh,
Let me
okay.
save this, and then you can stay on. We can take 2 more seconds. All right,
And you
everybody.
can also go to DietrichPlay.com.
Well, that's what I want to do. I just saw the 1933.
Go where?
I just saw the
Play.
I just saw the 1933 Marlene Dietrich movie. What was it? The Blue Angel, the Black
Blue
Angel.
Angel.
Yeah,
Sure.
where she played the professor wanted her.
Lola.
Yeah.
Okay, hold
What
on.
about you?
I'm saving the recording right now.